Okay, I need to be able to throw in a couple of inserts here, so if you see me in this red edit shirt, just know that's the version of me who has 72 hours like with the camera. I'm giving you my thoughts on it and the edit and just all the things. The experience, Cody, that's the red shirt one. Edit, Cody. Got the A7S III today in the mail. Want to do an epic unboxing, and this is the BTS of that. Just a couple things I need. I think it should all come together, hoping. Taking the drill into the office. Let's go. First shot I want is of me walking up, throwing it, like spinning it onto the table so it slides right down, like. If that would have been a switch pod or a gorilla pod, it totally would have fallen off the table. But thankfully I was using this new small rig tripod. The center of gravity is so low on it that it just like the back leg slid off and then, you know, camera didn't fall. It is like officially, I mean it's not officially, but it feels like it's officially fall. Look at that tree. Last one there. The last box spin, that was the one that I used. I'd gotten this cool kind of follow track shot, slide shot with the box, but I had to cut it because it wouldn't fit in right. When it comes to actually shooting the video that needs to be motion tracked, there's two main mistakes that I've made and that you could make. One is you need to remember to overcrank the shutter, 120, 1/120th for the shutter. The second one is not giving yourself enough space around the outside to be able to track the objects to the outside. So you see how wide I frame the shot. That's because I need to zoom in, but I also need to move around from all the different places on the screen and still have enough bumper left on each of the sides of the screen. So as high a resolution as possible, 4K was what I could do. 8K on the R5 would have been better, but I got the A7S III. As I always say, I hope it cuts. Okay, let me teach you how to edit in this style. I call it the Orion York object tracking method because that's how I learned it from. It's no plugins, it's just motion tracking using keyframes. There's actually two other things that sell this effect. The one is the sound design, which we'll touch on briefly. I used Epidemic Sound, whooshes, and sound effects. Second is some motion blur that I added on, which I got from Emilio Takas. Those are the three things. Very quickly, simple concept, and then just takes a bit of time to execute. I think this sequence took me about an hour and a half to keyframe. Some people hate that. I really get in the zone, like in a flow state to do it. So here's how you do it. First things first, in your viewer, you go up here to View, slide down to Show Horizon, all right? That's gonna show you the very middle point of the frame. I recommend tracking everything that you want to track right to that middle point because it just makes it way easier. Just go to the very beginning of your clip. We're just gonna track a small section of this and then you just repeat this throughout the entire sequence. Go ahead down to the bottom left-hand side of the viewer, click on the transform box, and then go ahead and just add a keyframe. At this point, we're tracking the knife. I'm gonna slide the knife across this B&H box. The way that Orion recommends it and the way that I found works is every 2 frames, you're gonna want a keyframe. So this is your very first keyframe. You can see over here in the transform box that we have scale, position, all of that stuff. Let's just go ahead and bring the scale way up just to start out, because I want to be tracking the knife and I want to be very obvious that we're tracking the knife. And once I brought the scale up, I'm actually going to come over here. Because I have this transform modifier selected, I can click and drag on the right on the image, okay? So right where the knife is making contact with the box, that's what I'm gonna keep center frame at all times. We have our first frame set. We're gonna go down here into the timeline. I'm just gonna click, make sure we're down there. Hit my arrow key to the right twice, 2 frames, 1, 2. All right, simple as that. And then just slide this, click and slide right over there. 1, 2. Click and slide right over there. 1, 2, click and slide right over there. For longer movements, especially where you know the path of the object you're gonna track, you can go more than 2 frames and it's gonna do a smooth track from point A to point B. I know that that's the case because I've already done this. If I go forward a bunch of frames, just basically as long as the knife isn't changing directions, there it starts to change directions. So I'm gonna go back 1 frame and just slide this right over to there. And then now the direction starts to change. Oh, and it changed again there. So if it changed directions, just, you know, bring it back to wherever the straight line was. And now I'm probably gonna have to go every 2 from here on out to the end of this clip. It kind of gets hidden by the box, but I just assumed it was like right there, down there. Oh, there we go. 1 frame can tend to make it a little bit too jerky, but sometimes you do need to go every frame, all right? And then if it's too jerky or something, you know, you can always go back and modify it. You can click on one of these and delete a point if you need to redo something. You can come down here and right click on this and hit show video animation, and it shows you all of these modifications you're making. You can slide those around. So Final Cut gives you a lot of ways to kind of manipulate these points. Then what I like to do is actually go and turn the horizon lines off, because it can kind of trick your eye when you leave them on when you're playing it back. Make sure it's rendered, which it is, and you can see it tracks the knife perfectly. That's it, simple as that. I did that for an hour and a half and I got the entire sequence that you see. If you need to hide cuts, you can add a motion blur over top of it. It's a really great way to kind of whip from one place to another place. If you are gonna whip, you throw in some of that sound design. Hit reverb 2, whip whoosh, whip whoosh, whip whoosh. These are all different whip whooshes, 13, 13, 13. Oh, that's just a bunch of them. That's when it was spinning. Toolbox slide when I pick up the knife, like, you know, find sound effects that sell whatever it is that you're showing and throw them in there. You can see up here where I've added Emilio's motion blurs to hide a cut or just to show some movement. Here I am actually hiding a cut. That's the Orion York tracking method. That's how I did it. Now on to the next 72 hours of me figuring out this camera. First clip on the Sony A7S III. So small and light, like I can put it anywhere again. I was just saying though that this 17 to 28 just doesn't cut it in terms of zoom range. I really think I need 16 to 35, like the 35, that level of telephoto feels important. However high the ISO went there, it obviously was too high, like unusable too high. Not unusable, but too high. I'm testing kind of the limits, what I'm gonna be comfortable with tomorrow. So you should subscribe and then watch that video. Hey. Good morning. How's it going? Good.
I never know what to do on camera. Do you want me to not look at the camera? Am I supposed to look at you?
I want you to specifically look at this camera.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Welcome to the Sony family.
Just saw that Christian and the Cap Collective crew are shooting something really cool, so I'm gonna go and get some BTS, do a little testing. Battery currently has, I'm still peaking. Also, this studio is one that I've wanted to see for like a really long time. So, 2 birds, 1 stone, let's go. Battery is currently at 49%. Wish me luck. At this point, I'm shooting 60 frames a second because I hadn't ordered a V90 card yet until like the morning that you're watching. So don't worry, it comes by the end of the video. But so far I can only shoot 60 frames per second. Up until this point, I've been using the Tamron 17-28, but right here I switched to Josiah's Rokinon 85, which was adapted, so it's manual focus, which I loved. It's a pleasure to use manual focus on this thing. Hey, there I am. Good news, while I was in there, I figured out how to use like the 1, 2, and 3 button on here. Not button, like the dial, to be able to dial in like custom settings. So that was fun. Good footage in there. Good footage, am I right? Okay, battery's at 19%. I gotta go charge it so that I can use it to complete today's video, which won't be released tomorrow, which is weird. But that's where we're at in this vlog. I'm about halfway done editing this video. Had to come out here and run some quick errands, give blood. Let's talk about editing workflow so far. On yesterday's video, which was, you know, half A7S3, and then today's video, the whole first half of this video, I didn't like how poorly my MacBook Pro 2015, mid 2015, so 5 years old, how poorly it was responding to the footage. Like 24, 60, definitely 4K 120. You know, it's all in 4K, it's heavy processing. It was editable, but not as fast as I like. So I did end up proxying it all. That obviously took care of it, and you know, now it's running smooth as butter. Did take 3 hours to proxy it all. For me, that's fine, as long as I do it the night before, so that because I edit in the morning. That's a little bit about my editing workflow and experience with this footage. Mirror's gonna be right there. We'll see what happens. Whoa, that's weird. Is this arm? What? It's kind of an interesting effect, right? It's like floating camera. Mirrors are the coolest. Okay, battery's charged. It's nighttime. Let's go. It's gonna be better. Because now... So this is how that's gonna look. I like it. I'm not actually sure that it's working like I wanted it to, but it's doing something. Yeah, just a YouTube video. I think it definitely went all right. It was way different than I thought it'd be, but I think there's something cool I can make out of it. Okay. 204,800. Interesting. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't be a Cody Warner vlog if there wasn't rain at times. Man, love the rain. Bad news, friends. I'm reviewing the footage now. It's not good. I mean, it's fine. Couple things. I should have had all the stabilization turned off. That would have made the camera completely stable in the frame. Like, it's trying to stabilize itself. Other than that, though, it's just like not cool. It's not really compelling. You can't see the camera as much as I want you to be able to. I'm going back to the drawing board. This video doesn't need to be released until tomorrow morning because I have a sponsored video that needs to go up today anyway. So, try two. Good news, I just got a Lexar V90 card, so 4K 120 works. Might be using that tonight. I've been sitting here in Home Depot's parking lot for a while just thinking about what I want to do, and I think I've finally figured it out. I'm basically scrapping, for the most part, my original idea, or my V2. But I think I got something better. I'm gonna see if I can get a magnifying mirror. Okay, pretty sure I'm on like V4 at this point, but that's fine. Who cares? Who cares? As long as it gets done, right? None of this is really what I want. It's cool. No problem. V5 fail. Let's just go get some 4K 120. ISO 12,800. Just looks incredible. All right, I'm done. I am done. Final thoughts. I love it. I absolutely love the camera. No complaints. You know, the proxy thing isn't amazing, but my computer's 5 years old. Really, what can you expect? The sound sounds great. I like the way it sounds so much better than the EOS R with the same mic, same Rode mic. 4K 120 at nighttime is just, you know, what? It's just what? And I like how small it is, light it is. I like the way the footage looks. I like the color. I was using standard color this whole time. You know, I can mess around with the log profiles and whatever, but yeah, no, it's really good. It's a really good camera. I like to call it a full frame GH5 with fantastic autofocus. That's what it is to me. First 72 hours, A+. See you tomorrow for that ISO usability test. All right? Thanks for being here.